Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil, and today, as requested by a subscriber, I'm going to take a look at how to drive or how to operate this tractor I'm driving now, which is the 6290. It's an old model, it's a 99 reg model. Now I am spreading the story at the minute, as you can see, and if you've watched the previous video you should probably know by now that this is the second video I've made in this day in this field, so we'll just sort of work through it now. Hopefully now I will be able to. We have three variations of the 6200 series. We have a 6270 with front links and electronic valves, and we have a 6290 with front suspension, an XL model that also has a monitor on the pillar there. So first things first, anyways, I'll go through the basics in this. Like, so you have your beacon up there and your back window wiper, which is not in this tractor. Normally when we break windows in tractors they don't get put back. However, you have your light switches down there, your main lights, and then back lights, side lights and front lights, hazard underneath. You have dyna shift there, which the tractor has 64 gears altogether. You have 32 forward, 32 reverse, you have 16 high, 16 low, or rabbit and that. Your dyna shift here is your splitter, so I can go up, you can see A, B, C, D. I'm traveling in A, we're putting out fairly heavy here to make space. And you have forward and reverse and neutral. I'll just show you now when I go to turn, going into reverse. And if you lift up this shuttle, it engages the clutch, or disengages the clutch. I don't know which way that's supposed to be said, but the clutch comes in. Like, I lift it, I've stopped, I can slap it into reverse and it'll do its own thing. I don't have to use the foot clutch, I don't have to use it to change gears either. I can use the side clutch, which I use in this tractor, as there's a slight problem with the clutch switch in the clutch pedal, where it'll knock itself out of gear, or it won't drive forward or back and I have to sort of slam it, and that it's just the age of the tractor and the hours. Like, this tractor is 25,000 hours on the clock, but as you can just see there, it says 2. Don't ask me why, I think the clock just stopped working. So yeah, that's it. Then you have your indicator and your window wiper and that there. You have pedal on the side there for adjusting the steering wheel. Gear stick then with 1, 2, 3, 4 gears, and then to get it in this model, in the older models, to get it into the high-low box, you pull it back into neutral and you push it over that way, and then it should change. The rabbit should be on the screen, but it's not, but it'll change that to tortoise then, and you go into the low box, and you can see behind the brush there the different speeds in the rabbit and the tortoise high-low box. What else is there to look at? Your hand throttle, your spool valves. Then this tractor has 3 spool valves. Some of them can have 4, most of them I have 2. You have your settings here for your lift controls. I don't know what that one does. That one is for the speed it goes down at, and if you twist it right round to the lock symbol, that locks it, that it will not come down. So buttons or rocker switch, it won't come down. And then also then the other one then is for the lift, at which it goes up. 2 lights then tell you whether you're going up and down, and then that's the float, for letting the lift arms float. And to activate that, you have to your rocker switch, which is here in this tractor. In the newer tractors there's a sort of a bigger armrest, and it's still on that. All that stuff is still there, but you have to have the rocker switch in full up, and actually that's not for the speed at which it goes up, that's for how high you can lift it. So if you were lifting something like a power harrow or somewhere, you didn't want to lift it too high with the shaft, you set that to what height you want to lift it at, and when you hit the rocker switch, it'll only lift it to that height. That's what that is. And also rocker switch is up, as I said, you push that, it activates that, and it gives you a suspension. In this tractor we have an eco, which is literally you just push that over and in. To change the from 1000 to 540, it is out at the back of the tractor. I won't be able to show you in this tractor, hopefully I'll show you in other tractors, and it's a little button and you just pull it out and slide it up or down. In some of the tractors you can change it in the cab there, and there should also be a switch. It's in most of the tractors, it's just there for changing the monitor to show it as 1000 or 540, whichever you're spreading in. or working in. You cigarette your PTO, you push down, twist that way, turns it on, push it, turns it off, and the brake, then you push it, or no, you don't push it, you just twist it that way, and that turns on the PTO brake. Your hand throttle, I don't know what that switch is for there in this tractor. Your 4-wheel drive and diff lock is in this tractor is here. Also your draft control is there for ploughing. Now I have seen in some I think it's in a 6270 the 4-wheel drive and diff lock was there on the tractor. Don't ask me why, it's just there. Whether it was an aftermarket job or not, I couldn't tell you. What else is there? You also have your pins there for electricity. We have it all wired up just for work on our switches and that with that. Radio and air conditioning and all that is there. Handbrake is down there. Passenger seat. Yeah, that's really it. Like from what I can tell you from inside the cab now, clutch, brake, foot throttle, you know, most of the tractors will rev out to 2500 revs. That's really it. That's all I can really say from inside the tractor. So hopefully now this will be, I'll get to show you the other 2 tractors we have, and I'll walk around one of them on the outside and show you just the different things on the outside. It's all fairly straightforward. They're very similar tractors. So that is it. Hopefully now it'll skip on to that. So here we are now at the next tractor that I'm looking at, the 6270 with the front links and front PTO. Now it's been nearly a week since I did the last part of the video that I upload on. It'll all be one video, never mind that anyways, but sure, I'll just go around outside the tractor and show you some of the stuff. Now you can see there the tractor is agitating last, so we have the pipe tied onto the front. You can see the front PTO, front links, buttons then for working them, and then you change them to put them down so that for using it. You also have here a valve for transport or not, so travel position when it's turned for that, it won't let them go up and down, and when it's transport position it'll go up and down. I think that's how that works. I think, to be honest, I can't really remember. We don't really use the front links on it too much, bar for transport box or that when we'll be picking stones. So then we go around to the back. You have buttons there for up and down the lift. You also have your emergency stop button on the PTO is there for changing on some of the tractors. For your 540, it's just under the shit there, 540 to 1000, that's it there. I can't just remember what way it is, where 540 is up or down. Then this is also an electronic spool valves. It has one manual spool valve, but the others are electronic, so you can see some of the dials there, and that is for the telescopic hitch. So when it's up, it's not on. You can use your spool valve without pushing in on the hitch. When it's down, the hitch will push in and out. And you can see a lot of electronics there. And then there's 2 different types of hydraulics. There's closed center hydraulics and open center hydraulics. Don't ask me which is the difference is. I think these are the open center. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. My father would know more than that. I would on that. I might just go around the other side just to show you the manual part of the hydraulics. So because, or spool valves, because these are manual, you have 2, or electronic spool valves, you have these 2 manual spots there, just in and out. Sometimes the electronic spool valves on this tractor, since we've got it, it's hit and miss. Today it might work, tomorrow it mightn't work, but they'll always work, just in case. It's a bit of a bollocks though, but normally that tractor doesn't do much where it's only one spool valve is needed. So we go around to the other side. The brains of the tractor is in that box there. Now some of the tractors have the battery in there as well, and in others it's in the front grille in front of the radiator. Now you can see this tractor's missing the exhaust. As you can see, very very tidy around this place. It fell off on me when I was on the road and crushed it, so we just never got around to putting on. Dipstick is there, oil fill point is there. Diesel cap, I forgot, is on the back. Filters there and all that crack. And that's it. So we'll just get into the tractor and just show you the electronic spool valves and the few differences there is in this. I think this is a 01. No, sorry, 03. Yeah, this is a 03 machine. There's a 01 6270 there as well. Not much in the difference between that and the tractor we're spreading with, which is 99. So now, in the tractor here, as you can see, there's very little in the difference. You've all your lights are the same. The only difference is the 4-wheel drive PTO works off that, or the front PTO works off that. Now, we've never used the front PTO on this. The tractor's too not enough power for the likes of a front mower and a back mower, anything really that we needed it for. So some of the other differences now in this machine, in the gear stick, instead of having to, you push it that way to go into low box, you have a button for low and high. You can see the armrest there is different. Instead of having a straight flat armrest, they have it all changed up like that. And instead of your four-wheel drive and diff being on the armrest, it's now over here. There for four-wheel drive and diff. After that, everything is much the same. You can see here this is an Eco. So you have 2000 and 1550. That's the Eco. In this tractor, the gears are wrong in the 1550 since we got it. So we don't really use it. And something I forgot to go on the other one, you have 2 buttons for the up and down and the lift there. Along with your rocker switch is now there. This here is a auto for the gears. So when you're in first D and you change to second, it'll go back into 2C. But if you go from 3D to 4, it'll go back to B. And it means that when you change gears, there's no step up in the speed. So if you're pulling a heavy load, you won't get any dieback. You can see here, this is the electronic spool valve. Side to side, up and down. When you start the tractor, it might come, you can see there the lights on. Well, normally what we have to do, you just press that and the light will go off and this will start working forward, back. It also, the front lift arms work off this, and then your float, I can't remember, you push it, I think it's you just push it and it goes into float then in whichever one you want. And don't ask me, there's a button on the side of it there. I don't know what that's for, nor do I know what that's for. We don't really use it too often. It's something that we never really knew what it was for. So that's that anyways. And then also in this tractor we have the control box, which is, I think it works in this one. It's in the other 6290 it doesn't work. You can press buttons for counting your loads and working out here how much how much ground you travel. So if you want to know how many acres you mow, then you put in while your mower is so wide, and then it'll work out by how fast you're traveling, and then when there's up and down and all slip control. I never used one. My father, I don't know, does even know how to use one. He used to know how to use one in the old 3000 series tractors like the 3075, 3095 and that, but it's something we never really use. So that's really it then. There's nothing else to show you in this tractor. Now I'm going to go back out to the house. We're just back at the house with the whole umbilical outfit. So the 6290 with the front suspension is there, so I'll be able to go through that with you, and I'll also go through the Bauer pump for the video on the new umbilical system. So that's it, we'll just swap over now. So here we have the 6290 XL model, as you can see there in between the lights, XL. We have our own box in the front for white vehicle following, that's the tractor, the pumping tractor. It goes in front of the spreading tractor. That's just, we have that on it because just to let people know. But this tractor is a 03 model and it has the front suspension, as you can see there. We always have this front suspension on, don't it's ever off, and it's a bit of comfort out of it, but there's great comfort when we have a 3-ton Kuhn or route spreader, and now we don't really fill it because it's far too heavy to be putting on the back of the likes of that. But when we've 2-ton in it, the front suspension keeps the front wheels in the ground, which makes it very easy for travelling. It's virtually the very same as the last tractor we looked at, the 6270. There's nothing in the difference really, bar all there's in the inside. There's the control for letting up and down the front suspension, and that is, honestly, that is it. There's nothing else. You can see the old John Deere monitor for the balers. It also has the box in it, but the box in this one is only after braking. It no longer does anything. And as you can see there, you have your switch, suspension up, suspension down. If your suspension is down, that will flash, and suspension up, that will just sort of green hue. And that's really it. 3 spool valves. It's the same hydraulics as the last one. There's no Eco in this tractor, and that's really it. There's nothing else to say about this tractor now. That's it. There's nothing else. It's much the same as the last tractor, only it just has that. And we actually have all the 6290s are in the yard at the moment. The other 2 are just behind me. I might actually just go over and have a look at the back end of one of them, so leave it at that. So here, I said I just turn around and look at the other 2 tractors. The other 2 6290s are here. That's a 01 model, And that's the spreading tractor, as you can see. The big wheels and the whole big setup on it. Now, something I was just thinking of when I was coming back round, my father's actually gone in the other tractor that was over there. He's putting on the trailer. We're going with a load of heifers tomorrow morning. So I was just going to look at how to speed up and slow down the hydraulics. Now, this is the old type that's on the 6270 01 model, this one, and it's on that one, but it's not on the other. I can't remember which is the one's open center, one's closed center. And there they are. You just twist them up and down. That's for increasing the flow and decreasing the flow of the hydraulic outputs. And also something I forgot to look at, that's your back end dipstick there. And yeah, and then some of them have two can't think of their names, valves there for the telescopic hitch. And that's really it. That tractor is just waiting on going into the shed to be ripped. We think the back end pump is gone in it, or one of the hydraulic pumps is gone in the back end, as it was doing a lot of growling, and it just stopped driving. And you let it stop and cool down, and that you started up on a drive, but when it started growling, the growling got bad, it stopped driving. So we presume there's a crack in the pump that's putting mixing air into the oil, and it's stopping it from driving. So that's just waiting to go into the shed to be fixed whenever we get a chance. But it's as hell for leather now with this yoke trying to get slurry out. We just did a neighbour's job there yesterday, and we just finished up that. We're back at home, and we put on a few extra lights. You can see there on the macerator, and you can see just on the mug yard there, just to try and light it up, that we can get an extra couple of hours spreading in the evenings. And that's really it. There's nothing else to say about the tractors, except for they are very good tractors. Like that tractor there, as I was saying, has 25,000 hours on the clock. We've never had to do the engine. I don't think the clutch was ever done on it. I think did we do the brakes? Actually, I can't remember, did we do the brakes? Now, we have done the half axle, but that's just down to the size of the wheels that's on it and the weight and the pressure it'll be under. But incredibly good tractors, the 6200 series range. So that's really it. That's all I have to say about it. I was asked to do this by a lad a good while ago now, and I'm literally just getting around to it now, so hopefully now I'll have this video up this evening. So hopefully that answered your question, lad, and hopefully it gives you a hand on to anyone else that's looking, wants to know more about them. That's really it. If you have any questions for me or anything, please let me know down in the comments below, and if I can't answer, I'll ask the boss man and see what he says. So that's it from me. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and you can follow me in Snapchat and all of that crack, and you'll get to see me work on that machine there. And that's it from me. Good luck.